Hi, and welcome to Simply Made by Erin, my crochet channel. Today we're making these adorable little crochet trinket trays. These are perfect to put on your nightstand or dresser or entryway table, and they hold jewelry really well. Here's a few of my rings. Perfect for your nightstand or just a decorative little basket to put somewhere. They also double really well as a little coaster or mug rug. This mug right here is really big. It's probably a little bigger than the average mug, and it still fits really nicely. So you can do that, or you can also use it as a candle holder, just like a cute little decorative bottom around your candle. So they're really cute, perfect for Valentine's Day because they work up in less than a half an hour. So if you wanted to make little Valentine's Day gifts for someone, these would be a really cute option. So all you need is some tube yarn. You need a size 6 super bulky yarn. I preferred the tube yarn. I use Lion Brand Cover Story Lazy Days Thick and Quick. It's 100% polyester. The tube yarns are a really soft material on the outside, almost similar to t-shirt yarn, and then they're filled, the inside of the tube is filled. This one is filled with polyester. You can also use Bernat Maker. If you're using Bernat Maker, you would use 2 strands held together. So this one is Bernat Maker, 2 strands held together, because the Bernat Maker is a size 5 yarn. This one is the Lazy Days Thick and Quick. So 1 strand, about 25 yards if you're using the Lazy Days Thick and Quick, and 50 yards, 2 strands held together if you're using the Bernat Maker. They both work really nice. The Lazy Days is so easy to work with. It just slides so easily on your hook. Okay, so the tube yarn, you can experiment with different yarns, but I just like the way the tube yarn looks. You'll also need an 8mm crochet hook, a tapestry needle for weaving your ends in. When working with tube yarn, I always recommend this blunt tip needle. It's called a drawstring threader, and I'll have it linked in the caption below. And then a pair of scissors and a flexible measuring tape to check your gauge. Optional are these cute little screw-on tags. I just think they really add to the overall look. So I will have the screw-on tags linked below as well. So I'm going to get set up and we are going to make our cute little basket. Okay, so I am using the 1 strand of Lazy Days Thick and Quick. This is the color Sandstone. It's a really pretty, almost like a mushroom color, like a tan brown, really nice and neutral. And this pattern is so quick, it only has 6 rounds. So you just need a tail long enough to weave your end in, and we're going to create a magic circle, also known as a magic ring. So I take my yarn and wrap it around my finger twice, insert the hook under both loops, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then chain 2. Okay, we're going to work 10 half double crochet in the circle. So yarn over, insert your hook in the circle, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 3. So you want to do that a total of 10 times. 3, 4. Okay, so I have 10 half double crochet in that magic ring, and we are going to join with a slip stitch to the beginning half double crochet. So skip over those chains. The chains do not count as a stitch. So this right here is the first half double crochet. So I always pull my working yarn kind of tight, so it's tight on the hook right there before I complete that slip stitch. Okay, and then you can close the circle and weave that beginning tail in whenever you want. Okay, so now we're going to chain 1 and we're going to work 2 half double crochet in each stitch around. So you want to work in that same stitch that you just did the chain 1 out of, and do not count that as a stitch. So again, yarn over, insert your hook in that first stitch, yarn over, pull up loop, yarn over, pull through 3. Do one more in that same stitch. Okay, so that's 2 half double crochet in the first stitch. And then we're just gonna work 2 half double crochet all the way around. We'll have a total of 20 half double crochet. Okay, I just finished round 2. Again, we're gonna join with a slip stitch to that beginning half double crochet, pull that working yarn a little bit. I like to pull that working yarn just so the seam is a little bit less noticeable. You'll get a really big bump here where you do that single crochet when you're using chunky yarn, and that just tames it down a little bit. Okay, so round 3 is one more round of the base, and we're gonna chain 1, half double crochet in the first stitch, 2 half double crochet in the second stitch, and you just repeat that all the way around. So 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, 2 half double crochet in the next stitch, and you'll have a total of 30 stitches. Okay, round 3 is finished. Again, join with a slip stitch to that beginning half double crochet, and then you can measure this across. Should be about 4.25 inches. So if yours is 4.25 inches, you're right on track for gauge. You want to be pretty close on this because you need it tight enough to where it has this nice structure. If it's too loose, this is going to be really floppy. And if it's too tight, it will turn out smaller, and it might not fit the crochet, or sorry, the mug if you're using it as a mug. Okay, so now we are starting the first round of our sides. So round 4, and it is made with puff stitches. It's a 7 loop puff stitch. So you are going to chain 1, and then we're gonna work a puff stitch in that same stitch as the chain 1. So the 7 loop puff stitch is basically doing 3 half double crochet. They're a series of unfinished half double crochet in that first stitch, so I'll show you. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. When you pull up the loop, you want to elongate the loops and make sure your hook is horizontal like that. You don't want it tight like this. Elongate it just like that. Okay, so that's our first unfinished half double crochet. Okay, then we're gonna do that 2 more times. So yarn over, insert your hook into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Again, elongate it just like that. You should have 5 loops on the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then we're gonna do it one more time. Yarn over, insert your hook into that same stitch, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Now we'll have 7 loops on the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's kind of hard to see the loops with this thick yarn because they bunch together. Okay, and now we're gonna yarn over and pull through all 7 loops. And that is our first puff stitch. And then we're gonna chain 1. Keep an eye on that chain 1. If you want to mark it with a stitch marker, this first chain 1, not the beginning chain 1 where we started the round, it would be the second chain 1, which is right on the top of the puff stitch. We're gonna work into that stitch later. So if you wanna mark it, you can, but I will show you when we do the next round. Okay, so we did the chain 1, and then we're gonna skip the next stitch. So this half double crochet from round 3, we're gonna skip that, and then we're just gonna do a puff stitch in that next stitch. So again, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. Do that 2 more times in that same stitch. You want to make sure you work these kind of loose and elongate that, or you won't be able to do that final pull through. Okay, and then chain 1 and then skip that stitch. And then you just repeat that all the way around. You do the puff stitch, chain 1, skip a stitch. Do that all the way around and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so I completed that last puff stitch. I did a chain 1 and then you'll have 1 stitch left over that you will skip over. You'll notice that my work is curling in. You want to make sure you push it out like that. And then when you do the next round, we'll push those puff stitches out. Puff stitches have a tendency to pop out on the opposite side of your work. So we're just going to push them out on that next round. So this round will look kind of floppy like this, and you might be kind of worried that the basket's not coming together. It will come together on the next round. So it's fine if it looks like that. Okay, so we are going to join this next round in that stitch I was talking about. It's the second chain 1. So we began this round with a chain 1, a puff stitch, and a chain 1. So we're gonna work into that chain 1 space. We're gonna join in that second chain 1 space with a slip stitch. Just like that. Okay, now we're gonna chain 1, single crochet in that same chain space. Okay, and then we're gonna single crochet in the skipped stitch down here. So that skipped stitch that we skipped over, it's a half double crochet from round 3. We skipped over it in round 4. We're gonna single crochet down in that stitch. So you insert your hook down there, yarn over, pull up loop. When you pull up a loop, elongate it a little bit like that. Don't do it real tight like this. We want to elongate it just a little bit. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So see what it looks like? Here's the first single crochet, and then here's the second, and that second one is just elongated a little bit because we worked down here in that skip stitch. Okay, so we're gonna be skipping over the top of the puff stitch and work a single crochet in those chain 1 spaces. So the chain 1 spaces, so this is the top of the puff stitch after you finish it. This is the chain space. So the chain space is right here, kind of off-centered to the left of the puff stitch. So this is the chain space right here. So it's important to get in the right stitches so it turns out correctly. And so we just repeat that around. So you single crochet in that chain space, single crochet in that skipped stitch, elongate that one a little bit. Single crochet in that chain space, single crochet in that skip stitch. As you go, you can push those puff stitches out a little bit, and you'll see it really come together in this round. So you just keep repeating that all the way around. You'll have a total of 30 single crochet. Okay, so I worked a single crochet in the last chain 1 space. You'll end that round with a single crochet in the last skip stitch. So it's right there. Okay. Make sure you push all of these out, and it should be forming pretty well now. And then we're gonna slip stitch around the top and it will come together even better. Okay, so in this last round, you just slip stitch all the way around. So find that first stitch and work a slip stitch. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then pull through the loop on your hook. If your seam's really floppy, you can do tighter slip stitches here. If it seems just right, kind of how mine is, just do a regular slip stitch. I don't go too tight or loose. I kind of just go with a pretty even tension. And you just finish that all the way around. You'll have 30 slip stitches. And then I'm going to show you how to join with the invisible join method, which finishes it off really nicely. Okay, so I just finished my last slip stitch of the round. I fastened off. I just left a tail long enough to weave my end in. Take the tail, just pull it through, and then we're gonna weave the end in with the invisible join method. So when I am working a round of slip stitches, traditionally I do the invisible join method into that first stitch, but when I'm doing slip stitches, I go over here to the second stitch. So find the second stitch of the round, the second slip stitch, which is right here, and you insert your needle from the front to the back under both loops, just like that. And then you find the last stitch of the round, which is right here, and from the front to the back under the back loop only. So this would be both loops. We're doing back loop only. You pull it through like that, and then you tighten this loop to make it look about the same size as these other loops. And then you just finish weaving the end in. So you can kind of adjust it to make it look just right. See how nice that looks? It makes it completely seamless. It looks really nice from the top too. And then you just finish weaving your ends in. I'll finish that off camera, and then you're done with your little basket. It's super simple and easy. And then you can add one of the little screw-on tags like I did here and display your jewelry, candles, a little mug. I think it would be really cute wrapped up as a little Valentine's Day gift. As always, the full written pattern is free on my blog. And if you have any questions or comments, please let me know, and everything will be linked in the caption below. Have a great day.